Life as a child in the 1800s. Privileged children from rich families often had a nanny looked after them. Maids and servants around their homes did all of the necessary chores. Their fathers were the ones who worked, as back in those days it was seen as a woman's job to stay home and look after children. Children were polite at all times and practiced their manners in the family home. Children could attend the local schoolhouse, however, for extremely wealthy families, private tutors were hired to tutor the children. Children didn't often see their parents outside of scheduled meetings, such as meal times. Children were always very well presented. Mothers would instruct nannies on what attire they wanted their children to wear. Clothes could be tailored for children and were very, very expensive. Poor families. Children as young as 6 or 8 years old might work in the mill or a factory. They might run errands and make deliveries for a storekeeper. They may be apprenticed to skilled craftsmen or women, or they could be hired out as servants. Many children in rural parts of the country worked on farms alongside the grown-ups. Their workday started before the sun came up, and boys' tasks may include cutting, splitting, or carrying firewood, tending to the farm animals, carrying water to the house, pulling or repairing fencing, working in the gardens, field, or orchards, and hunting. Girls spent long days cooking, milking cows and goats, collecting eggs, churning butter, making breads and cheeses, preserving foods, cleaning, doing laundry, making candles, sewing clothes for the family, and preparing fibers like wool and flax to spin weave, caring for younger brothers and sisters, and helping elderly family members. Children from poorer families did not get a chance to go to school, or perhaps, if they were lucky, they were able to attend for a short period of time. Children who were able to go to school attended the local schoolhouse. This was due to the fact that their parents couldn't afford for them to attend school or needed their children to work on the farm or around the home to generate more money for the family. If children did attend school, they would have one teacher for all ages and were disciplined very strictly, with teachers being able to use the cane for discipline. For poor families, second-hand clothes were bought and handed down to younger siblings as children grew bigger. These clothes would be used as much as possible and would be mended with holes when holes appeared. These clothes needed to be practical for all day-to-day work, and the children were required to do. Boys wore trousers with a shirt and a hat, and girls wore practical dresses. Some families could afford shoes for children, so some went barefoot. If the family could afford it, the children would have their Sunday best attire to wear to church on Sundays.